Hello guys, hi. My name's Danila and I decided to start a YouTube channel to talk about bullying and my personal experience with bullying and how I grew up and how bullying affected my life. And yeah, so let's get into it. I was born in a country called Angola and I'm mixed race. I have alopecia and I've grown to love my features, and I'm talking everything from my big bushy eyebrows. I have like really thick eyebrows. They join in the middle, like they make like a monobrow. My big puffy eyes, this big old nose, my flat lips. I've just learned to love myself, but I haven't always been like this. It was a journey to get here. It was a really long journey. I'm 28 years old now and I'm very comfortable in my own skin, but it was a struggle to get here, and I'm very grateful that I got here. And I just want to share my experience and help other children who are growing up facing bullying and being told that they're less than because they have something wrong with them. Apparently, I just want to say that you don't have anything wrong with you. The person that's bullying you is the person that has something wrong with them. So yeah, I grew up in Angola and I suffered a lot of bullying, and the bullying started at home with my own family. I just like to put this forward. I grew up in an all black household. Everyone is dark skinned, and I'm the first person of my kind. Like, I'm the first person who's mixed race. And I suffered a lot of bullying because I was the mixed race girl that didn't have long curly hair down to her back, that didn't have a thin nose with a bridge, that had really thick eyebrows, and kids bullied me. Like, my family bullied me. My family, like, the bullying for me started at home, not outside. Before I even got to the outside world, it started at home with my own family, like especially my cousins. My cousins picked on me so much that I grew up such a sad child. Like, they called me nasty names. Like, I'll just name a few. Like, they used to call me monster. They used to call me ugly mixed race girl, strange mixed race girl, alien. What kind of mixed race girl are you? Because all mixed race girls are pretty and you're really ugly. I have this cousin, which I really don't like him, but I'll get to a point in my journey where I'll have to forgive him, as I have forgiven many of my family members. Like, he used to tell me that I needed to die because the world doesn't have space for ugly mixed race girls, because every mixed race girl is pretty and you're an ugly mixed race girl, so the world doesn't want you here because you need to have long hair down to your bum, curly, and you need to have a thin nose with a bridge. This is my cousin. His dad is my mum's brother. Like, we're growing up together. And he used to literally grab a pillow, put the pillow on my head, sit on my face, and just be like, die, you're so ugly, you need to die. And I'm growing up without my dad, so I don't know anything about my dad. And I'm trying to understand where my skin color comes from, because everyone in the house is dark skin. I'm the only one of my type. And obviously, whatever, like, even though I've got bald patches of my alopecia, I still have some hair on my head. And as a kid, my hair was blonde. So I'm literally feeling like the odd one out, and I really am feeling like a stranger, because how did I end up here? Like, everyone here is black, everyone's dark skin, I'm mixed race, I got this blonde hair, but there's not much hair anyways because I have alopecia, and no one knows what alopecia is at that time. No one knows what alopecia is because it's Africa, it's the 90s. I'm just a weird, sick child. I'm a weird, sick child. And let me tell you something about Angolans, yeah? Angolans are all about the way you look and the way people look, yeah? If you don't look a certain way, people won't even be friends with you, yeah? And that's what happened to me. When I started school, kids wouldn't even play with me because I was the weird, ugly, sick, mixed race kid. And it was almost like if they had touched me, they were gonna collect some of my illness, or they were gonna collect some of my alopecia, or they were gonna collect like some of my big thick eyebrows. It was like, don't touch her, like, she's nasty. So growing up in school was as bad as being at home, and I didn't have any friends. Like, I didn't have friends in school, and like kids used to slap me about, they used to like kick me. I used to just like sit in a corner, like in a playground, and I would just sit by myself, like counting pebbles or throwing pebbles on the floor or writing on the floor with sticks, and just like playing by myself. Like, I've always been a very on my own kind of person, just because of the events of my childhood. And I had one person in my life who helped me get through every single day. Because let me tell you one thing, every single day was a struggle. Every single day was just negativity. If it wasn't negativity at home, it was negativity in school. And that person was my grandmother. My grandmother showered me with so much love and so much positivity every single day. That it helped me get through it. She reassured me so much that, listen, you're beautiful. You don't have to worry about what they say. Just mind your business, do your thing. And I literally went through that, and I literally took on those words, and like I'm flying through school with like really good grades, and I'm loving the fact that I'm quite intelligent. This is me back home. And obviously kids pick up on the fact that, you know, I'm good at reading, I'm good at writing. My favorite subject was Portuguese language, and I was really good at it. So whenever it came to doing homework, a lot of kids wouldn't do their homework. They'll come to me, beat me up or bully me into doing their homework, because I was scared. I was a very little, I'm very petite even till now, and I was quite little when I was small. I mean, when I was younger, I was quite little, so I was scared of the bigger kids. And not only that, like, there's no one of my skin color, there's no one like me. I'm just feeling like this weirdo in the middle of a bunch of people that don't resemble me, don't look like me, and I'm trying to figure out, who am I? From a very young age, I was asking big questions like, who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? Like, I was asking these questions from like the age of 5, because of the amount of bullying and the amount of negativity that I was taking day in and day out. I wanted to know, why, God, why me? Like, why am I in the middle of all of this? What is this for? Anyways, that is my life in Africa, up until the age of 10. And just before I get to the UK, even in the neighborhood, kids will bully me. So I'm being bullied from in my house. I step out of my house, I'm getting bullied as I'm going to school to get bullied, and then repeat the same thing day in, day out, for 10 years. Okay, when I'm 10 years old, I finally moved to the UK. And when I came to the UK, I also experienced bullying for the same reasons, like for my appearance and for the fact that I don't speak English. So I'm now a freshie who doesn't have hair, McDonald's eyebrows, big nose with no bridge, no lips, and I'm quite tiny. So I'm the laughing stock. Whenever somebody felt the need for a release, whenever somebody was frustrated from whatever was going on at home in their house, I was the target. Like, yeah, let me just go to school and take it out on Danila. Like, it would just be day in, day out. And I'm going through all of this. I don't have any support anymore because I'm now in the UK and my nan's left back home. So I have nobody to talk to. I'm going through all of this. And the one support mechanism that I had is no longer about. So I'm growing up very, very sad, very extremely sad. And my dream from when I was a little girl, like literally as a little girl, my biggest dream was to run away from home, to run away somewhere where I could just be quiet and be happy and find a place where there was like nice, kind people that wouldn't call me nasty names and all of that. So eventually I do turn 18 and I move out from home because situation at home isn't great either. I'm being physically abused, I'm being beaten up, the bullying isn't being taken into consideration when I'm speaking about it. I don't have no support with school. I'm just literally going through life, fending for myself. And it got to a point where it just became too much. And at 19, I was ready to pull the plug. So I left home. I got my first youth hostel. I moved into a youth hostel in Stratford called Focus, if you lot know. So yeah. So at 19, in my flat in Focus, I pulled a bottle of paracetamols, and I took 10 paracetamols, and I drank them with the intent to kill myself. Obviously, I didn't die because I'm still here. I just fell asleep because I felt really drowsy and they put me to sleep. But the intent in which I took those paracetamols were to die, because I had enough. Because for myself, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm shit anyways. I'm ugly. Nobody cares about me. I don't have a dad. I don't have family. My nan's all the way in Africa. I can't reach her. I don't have money. Just like, fuck life. So yeah, I attempted suicide. I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my days, I didn't die. And then I started to feel sick. I felt so sick. I ran to the bathroom and I vomited everything that was in my stomach, to the point where I was vomiting acid. Like, legit, I was vomiting the acid in my stomach, like that green, yellowish liquid. Sorry. This is just a nice tea, but yeah. And then I was crying. I was crying so much. I went to see my support worker, because in Focus I had like a support worker, like a key worker, and I went and I told her what was happening. And I spoke to her about my childhood and everything I had been through. And she said, you're suffering from PTSD, like, which is like part of your depression and anxiety. I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know any of that. But nonetheless, I was referred to counselling. I started attending counselling, and I'm going to counselling. At least I've got someone to talk to us. At least I'm letting it out. Like, 19 was the lowest point in my life. Like, lowest point in my life. 19 to 20, mate, it was just a body walking through life dead inside. So my counselor is giving me all these exercises like mindfulness, positive thinking and stuff like that. But I've just learned that I'm sick. I'm like, what? Mental health? Back home, mental health, or people who have mental health problems are eating in the bins, are crazy, are, weirdos. And not only am I not okay, but it's now another difficulty that I have to accept that I am mentally sick. I am mentally not okay. Which for me was hard, because it reinforced the ideas of all the bullying that I suffered back home, that I was weird, that I was a stranger, that, all the negativity. Now having to accept that I have mental illness, it was kind of reassurance or reinforcement in my brain that I was the weird monster that everybody said I was. And that was another difficulty in itself, to accept that. So I'm like, I'm just going to push through life and whatnot. So I'm just like lost in my feelings, in my emotions. I'm empty inside. I'm trying to cling on to life. And then, through all this pain and all this emptiness, I'm going through useless dating, this guy and that guy and blah, 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 till eventually I end up pregnant. And I have a baby, and this baby came, and she was like a beacon of light in my life. I clinged on to that love, and I clinged on to her. Yeah, so my child was the reason why I decided to push through. And I'm just pushing through life. I'm not acknowledging depression. I'm being reluctant to address my issues. I'm just like, no, I'm okay. And me and her dad break up, and I'm just ignoring. I'm ignoring this thing. I'm ignoring this inner child that needs to heal. Like, there's this inner me, this little girl who's knocking on the door of my heart, telling me, you need to fix yourself. You're great, you're intelligent, you've got places to go in life. However, you cannot get there unless you fix me. This is my inner child talking to me. So this is like my little me talking to my grown-up me. Like, yes, you have a place to go, but you need to fix the little me first before you can walk into your big you. And I'm just ignoring that. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just pushing through life. And I know I have to do this work, but I'm pushing through life. I'm pushing through life. All sorts of things are happening. Nothing is working out. I'm having housing issues. I end up homeless again. After leaving Focus, I end up homeless again, and then I left East London and I went to live in West London. And when I went to live in West London, I took some time to do some self-development, like my image, like being happy within myself. I done a lot of work on my body. I done a lot of work on my like skincare. I had a bit of acne prone skin. It wasn't really as bad, but it wasn't as clear as this. But yeah, so once I've worked on my body and my image, I'm thinking that, yeah, like everything's gonna be okay, everything's better in life.